here.
Where's my shot?
Oh, where's your shot?
Charlize Theron has recently returned to various public places, including chat rooms, where she is back in the sequel to the film The Old Guard 2. But there is one thing that is in the spotlight for her. Charlize Theron appeared on the Call Her Daddy podcast during her press tour for The Old Guard 2 and was asked about an early audition in which a male director made sexual advances on her.
I want to ask you about one of your early auditions that you had in the industry where a director asked you to go to his house for an audition late on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what happened when you got there?
It was an incident the Oscar winner first spoke about on The Howard Stern Show in April 2019, but it has since been resurfaced since her revelations on the show. Charlize said she was told to go to a director's house one Saturday night for an audition for the film. He allegedly answered the door in his pajamas, then proceeded to put his hand on her knee.
I knocked on the door and he opened up the door and he was in his pajamas. And then at one point he put his hand on my knee.
Charlize also said that in her heart there were questions about whether her actions were right or wrong. But because she was just starting her career, she thought about positive things.
And the little voice inside me definitely said, this isn't right. But then the other voice in me says, well, I don't know. Maybe it is right. But you know that that voice that we don't listen to? That voice knew. That voice was like, this isn't right. And it wasn't right.
Likewise, when Charlize was on WWHL a few days ago during the Agree or Disagree session, and when host Andy said, I worked with a bad director and I never want to work with him again, Charlize immediately held up a sign that said, AGREE. And that is a confirmation that the incident was indeed experienced by the actor of Doctor Strange's partner in Marvel.
Doctor Strange?
Yes. Charlize's life is currently without a partner, where she is raising 2 adopted children alone. Through the podcast Call Her Daddy, Charlize also said that she does not need a man. However, Theron is a woman who really appreciates comfort and protection.
Women's rights are becoming less and less every day.
Okay, let's get back to the director who tried to harass Charlize, but Dom's enemy in the Fast and Furious films never mentioned the director's name because he didn't want to talk about the director. And not because he was protecting him or anything like that.
I've never said his name because honestly, I don't want the story to be about him. You know, honestly, it's not because I'm protecting him or anything.
Indeed, when talking about appearance, Charlize is included in the category of very beautiful. But the director's attitude was clearly not right. And after the incident, Charlize told someone without mentioning the director's name. And when the director found out, he looked nervous. Then he wrote a letter to Charlize to pretend to explain that the incident was a misunderstanding. But Charlize already knew his motive. Even the star of the movie, The Old Guard, felt happy when the director was in such a situation.
But he got nervous for a little bit.
Why?
Because he heard me tell the story and he knew it was about him. And he wrote me a pretend letter trying to explain his behavior and how I must have misunderstood it. Which is classic, isn't it? It's so classic.
No, Charlize.
Yeah.
He wrote you a letter?
Yeah, because I think he panicked. And I kind of like that he's got to be on a hot seat. He doesn't know when it's going to come. I kind of like that a little more.
Well, through that incident, people will judge that the situation behind the scenes in Hollywood is not okay. Although not all of it, but Charlize is a woman who struggles from a life that is not okay. The twists and turns, dark and light. Happy and sad she has lived, therefore, she is not easily affected by things like that. She overcomes it by remembering the value that she will bring to a work, so that Charlize thought she was appreciated only for one thing. And the result was indeed an unlucky night. But not for Charlize, but for the director. Even the Oscar winner concluded that she would not let anyone disturb the peace of her days.
Because I will not let a motherfucker fuck with me any day of the week. Like, step up.